Hi, this is Lynn Jacob, founder of MLJinternational.com, creator of the 7 Simple Strategies for Success, and author of the book, I Know You Know, But You Don't Understand. And over the last few weeks in my newsletters, I've been helping you improve your team. And I'm going to continue with that right now because I have a perfect example that came up very recently with a new client. And if you think it's you and you're watching this, then hi and relax. No one will ever know I'm talking about you. It could be about them too. So the example is that this new client said to me, I've had this incident with one of my employees. He's been here for a while. He's really good, etc., etc. But over the last couple of weeks, he has called in saying that he's going to be late or he's not going to come in at all. Funny thing is, number one, it's happening on Monday morning. Number two, it's happening at 15 minutes before he's supposed to be here in person. So did he just wake up? What's going on? Well, of course, the employee, has a reason for why. But what came out of it was that this employee has actually been offered a position in another company. This employee happens to be an apprentice, and we know how valuable licensed technicians are, and to get them through their apprenticeship is a process for you and for my client. So they talked about it, and he'd been offered more money to go somewhere else. Why wouldn't that happen? Because somebody else wants to get a nearly licensed apprentice, right? Well, when the employee talked to my client about it, before we had talked about it, before, he had become my client, then my client said, you know what, I've been thinking about giving you a raise anyway, so I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to give you a raise. He didn't feel like he was being held over a barrel by his employee or anything like that because he had already more or less made the decision to give his employee a raise. But here's the problem. The problem since receiving the raise is that the employee's gone back to making careless mistakes like he did in the beginning. In the beginning, it's expected because he's new. He's just apprenticing for his ticket. But now he's like third-year apprentice. He shouldn't be making these mistakes anymore. He hasn't in a long time. Why is he now? Here's why he is now. If this has ever happened to you, or if it ever could possibly happen to you, then listen up. So the one thing is that the employee had to come to the decision to leave his current position where he has been a good employee. He likes being there. But something had to change for him to be able to take this new job at more money. Why wouldn't we want to take a new job at more money? Well, I can get into that another time. But it's not all about the money, which you'll see here in a second. But what he had to do is he had to make his current position one that he wanted to leave. So he had to fall out of love with where he is right now. He had to find reasons in his mind for making the shift to go over to the other company. So, well, you know what, I really don't like this about the company I'm at, and this could be better, and, I'm not getting paid enough, and whatever he came up with, I have no idea. I haven't been talking to the employee. But whatever he came up with is still there today. It planted the seed. So this is why he's now making mistakes that he hasn't made in years, because he has become disgruntled with his current employment position. Is it rectifiable? Can my client fix this? We'll see. Here's the exercise that I left him with, and I'm going to leave it with you too if any of this speaks to you. Get a little notebook. Write down every little thing that you remember that has been less than the good quality that it needs to be and that it has been. And keep your eye open for everything else that might come up over the course of 1 week. Okay, so over the course of a week, don't just write it all down today and talk to him today about what you've got so far and then keep adding and keep talking. No, gather the facts. Then have a one-on-one meeting with him. Go over the list And they've got to be facts, not, well, I had a feeling like. No, it's you called in at 15 minutes before start time to say that you weren't feeling well and so you might be late or maybe you're not coming in. No. Your alarm goes off to get here. You call me then at the latest. If you're not feeling well the night before, you call me then because I need to prepare for the day. But this is the sort of thing. You want this whole list of facts, indisputable facts. And then you want to say, this isn't you. This isn't the you who you've been before the last few weeks. So what's going on? And then sit and listen. Be quiet. Keep that space so that he understands, yeah, he really wants an answer. And then he can come up with an answer for you. Do not answer for him. And secondly, after he has answered and you've discussed it and you've gotten to the bottom of what's going on for him, how can I help you become the employee you used to be? And how can I help you going into the future in my company? Okay? So the thing is that there was a seed planted. It started to develop a root, and the root's still growing even. And you are seeing, my client is seeing the little bit of the plant that's coming up above the soil. And that's what you need to do. You don't want to just cut off that plant. You want to dig down in and get the root, and you want to get rid of it completely. And you want to put healthy soil back in its place. And now you want to plant some better seeds, better quality seeds. Okay, that's one. The other side of the coin is, when my client was explaining that his employee wanted more money and that my client didn't feel like the employee had him over a barrel or anything, and he was justified in asking for more money, well, how is it that he came around to that decision that the employee was justified in asking for more money so quickly? Because my client had received the seed to give his apprentice a raise because of, how he had developed in the company. He had already heard it's time to give him a raise. So the seed came, planted itself. But no, it wasn't well watered. It didn't have enough sunshine. It was not nurtured, so it didn't grow. My client did not go to the employee and say, you know what? I really like the job you're doing here. You're doing a great job, etc., and I'd like to give you a raise. And that is what he should have done, he now sees, at that time, before the employee had the offer or went looking for another job, and then had to come up with all the reasons why he would now leave his current position. Do you follow me? First, there was a seed planted in the employer. He had the idea to give this apprentice a raise, but he didn't do it. So when an idea comes to you, just ask yourself, is this something I want to do? Yes? Do it now. No? Okay, take the action for that now, whatever it is. It may be something like, okay, I'm not going to mention it. Now I've made my decision. Now if my employee, my apprentice, comes to me and says, I found another job that's going to pay me more money, you've already made the decision. I'm not going to give you a raise, so bye. So this could have avoided what is happening right now, but that's okay. It's rectifiable, or it's not, because when my client has this meeting with his employee, he has to be prepared, and I warned him of this. You have to be prepared for him to walk, to take that other job or to get another one. You have to be prepared for that. And he still doesn't have you over a barrel. Sure. Now you've got another spot to fill in your company, but you're going to fill it with healthy people, healthy seeds that are going to grow very fruitfully in your company. Okay, so that's an exercise that I would like you to do in your company if you have anything along those lines. And I'm sure you do. And that's all about you becoming a better leader. And it just backs right up to making good decisions and making them immediately. So look down in the newsletter here if you like these training tips on how to improve your team. then you'll find a link to sign up for some free training on how you can become a better leader so that you can lead an all-star team in your company. And it's free to you. So if any of this speaks to you and you want more, just sign up for it there. This is Lynn Jacob signing off, mljinternational.com, where I help you understand that money is not the bottom line at all. Your people, that's the bottom line. You take care of your people, and the money will take care of itself.